it still stings, no doubt, and you kind of go over your head, from one game to the next, and kind of go through what happened and break it down, and it's tough. It's in our minds, it was closer than a 5-game series, and there's certainly things you wish you did better, and a lot of things you like too. And I think a lot of things in the game we felt we did well, didn't get rewarded for at times, and that's the nature of playoffs. It's close, it's tight, and you need high execution from everybody in your lineup at different points, and ultimately we came up short. You give Florida a ton of credit. They played their game plan really well, and capitalized on their looks, and group that really has a strong belief in coming off of their last season's success. You could see it in their game, the way they played, and didn't beat themselves, and ultimately got the job done.
Mac, this was a pretty intense series, but can you take us through kind of the mentality of when you guys saw Hagel go down, and he's a guy that brings so much to your group, and you knew you were going to be without him. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, incredible season from Hags, and no doubt he was one of the hungriest players for us going to the playoffs. The way he plays, and in your face, and physical and skilled, and to lose him for a game and suspension, and then injury-wise, you never want to see somebody have to go through that, especially a big piece like him, and the way he's come to Tampa and just taking the reins and become a huge piece for our group. So you're going to lose different guys, different reasons, like I said, injuries, suspensions, and whatnot in the playoffs, and it was up to us as a group to respond. We had a great response there in Game 3, and ultimately, like I said, a lot of things that were made us successful in the regular season. We didn't get to enough in the playoffs, and a lot of great years from guys, and no doubt we have confidence that they're going to continue to have those great seasons again next year, and come back better and ready for another deep run.
Ryan, you guys had a great defensive year. It was one of the priorities to improve during the offseason. And in the middle 3 games of the series, that was right there, but there were problems in Game 1 and Game 5. You look around the league, like some teams like the Kings, Winnipeg last year, great defensive teams during the regular season, sometimes have problems in the playoffs. Is there a difference, like, between defending well in the regular season, or is it difficult to translate that sometimes to the playoffs?
It's kind of, it's tough to put into words, tough to figure it out. Playoff hockey is such a fine line, as you know, and we always say there's no small place, and crazy bounces happen, and things happen so fast out there that stuff that happens in the regular season, it just doesn't happen the same way in the playoffs at times, just because of the nature of the intensity and the speed of the game. So defensively, yeah, it was we had great commitment from everybody, not just the D group, but the forward group, and we needed that a little bit more, obviously, in the series in the end. And Florida definitely defends well, and we could have defended it a little bit harder too as a group, and anytime you're giving up more than 3-4 goals a game, that's tough to win in the playoffs, and tough to win in the regular season too, as our coaches and our group always says. So it was no doubt unfortunate that we weren't able to keep the goals against down in the playoffs, and like I said, give Florida some credit.
Ron, in returning to the Lightning, what might you remember most about this group?
I think a lot of new faces, a lot of changes. Obviously I hadn't been here the last couple of years, but there's a lot of moves made and changes over the course of at least a couple of years since I've been back, and I still love the winning culture, the winning attitude that we have here, and that we don't take for granted making the playoffs, right? That's a challenge every year. Not every team can say that, and you never know what's going to happen throughout the course of a regular season. You expect to make the playoffs, but you still got to go out and do it. And I think for our group, keep that buy-in mentality, that great attitude of, you know, showing up, coming to work every day, you know, accepting your role and doing whatever you can to help the team win. And, you know, it's up to us as leaders to keep that same culture, that same mentality here, because that gives you a chance every year. And, that, you know, makes it easier when new guys come to the team, they feel part of the group, they feel valued. And, like I said, that's what, you know, is great, you know, at least for me coming back here, that we still have that mentality, that culture here of everybody pulling for one another. You know, there's no egos in this group, and we care about winning, and it hurts our group a ton when we lose.
Mac, you played Florida a lot in the playoffs. Some great battles, a lot of new faces on both sides, so that's the obvious part. But how did it make maybe this series different than some of the other past years where you played Florida in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think other years it seemed like there was, you know, a lot of high-flying rush chances back and forth. Remember those series? It was just back and forth, chance, and you know, certainly this time around there wasn't room out there, and it wasn't, you know, a lot of high-flying, pretty goals, you know, that you see, or odd mans and whatnot. And so I think, you know, you always talk about being patient in your system and patient in your game, and no doubt, you know, Florida just kind of is patient in their game and is willing to play that grinding, you know, boring hockey, so to speak. It's effective, and we've been on that side before, where you just trust your system, you don't give up much, and you kind of pounce on your opportunities when they're there, and it's not pretty, and you feel like at times as the opposition, you've got great control of the game, and you're feeling confident about where your game's at as a team, and you ultimately end up on the wrong side of things, and you're kind of shaking your head and wondering how it went wrong. So it just seems that both groups that you know, really try to buy in and play the right way as far as doing the little things to win, and there wasn't a lot of room out there, and it's the way you need to win in the playoffs.
Ryan, you've been a captain in this league, obviously you know Heddy very well. What did you see from him in his first season wearing the C for this team?
I thought he was, you know, same old Heddy for me as far as being the leader he was even before he was, you know, the captain. And obviously he's been here his whole career. He knows this organization, this city, you know, better than anybody, and he loves playing here. You can see that the way he carries himself on the ice, prepares so hard, and wants to win so much for the guys next to him in the city and his fan base. So he should be really proud of the way he stepped up and was the captain this year, and he's going to be expected to do the same right away next year. And like I said, I talked about it earlier, like the culture, the attitude that we have here, where if you're a new guy, you're coming in, you feel welcomed right away, you feel valued, and there's one goal and there's one expectation, and when you don't get there, it stings, and you want to do whatever you can to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Ryan, you talk about the culture and the championship pedigree of this organization. You know, there are a lot of people in that locker room who have hoisted the cup, but as the years go on, and there are an infusion of people who have not. You have to relearn how to get back to that championship pedigree with the new, younger group that gets infused into what you guys have built here over so many years.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's what you got to use from this experience here, right? You know, some rookies, young guys getting their first taste of playoff hockey, and even veterans that played, you know, 500-600 games, getting their first taste of hockey, playoff hockey, and you know, the guys that have been here the last few years, you know, that are playing big roles. You know, it's you've got to try to seize every opportunity you can in the playoffs, and understand how important every player on the team is, and everybody's role, how important it is, and how it can be the difference in a game. It can be that close, and you need different guys to step up, and that'll be the toughest thing, is that we just, as a group, you know, collectively didn't get the job done together, didn't step up enough in this series, and it's a fine line between winning and losing, and like I said, there's no doubt this experience is going to help keep fueling us, motivating us, and help guys, you know, be that much more excited and motivated to go further next time and push themselves a little bit further.
Right, you've been through the spectrum of everything in the playoffs, right? Top of the mountain, first line, first round, whatever. What's it like dealing, like, there was a lot of expectations on you guys, and I know you had a lot of expectations in the room. But to deal with the sudden stop of it all, like, it's over. Like, how do you compartmentalize those
Yeah.
emotions?
Yeah, I mean, it's never easy. You, like I said, you get together with the guys, you talk through things, and you go through exit meetings, and you talk through things, and you look at things, and like I said, ultimately, you've gotta continue to have that hunger and that want to win. And there's no doubt about that with all the guys in the room there. That stings, that, we're not excited that our off-season is starting, we're having a long summer. That doesn't excite us at all. It is that we've got, an extra month to train and get ready for a season. We wanna be playing still, and that is what's, most important, is that we keep that hunger, we keep that fire in our bellies. We want nothing but, to call ourselves champions at the end of a long playoff run. And so, it'd be different if guys were, getting out of town right away, getting excited to go on trips and see family, but it's not like that with this group. And like I said, we take losing very, very, we take losing worse when we like winning. And so, that's what excites you about being a part of this team, and this culture, and this organization, is when you have a group that, wants to win so bad.
Brandon, you've talked so much about how much you've enjoyed, loved being here in Tampa. You're going into the next year, your last year, your contract. Where do you kind of see things moving forward in terms of, wanting to be here, end your career here, in Tampa? Would you be open to extensions out this summer or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't come up in any kind of talks yet, but clearly, obviously, was excited to be able to come back here last summer, be a part of this great organization, this team. And like I talked about before, I have a ton of hunger still in me, and wanting to win, and this is a great place for me to have that chance. And we'll see what happens, but like I said, this is an unbelievable organization, city. There's nowhere else I'd want to be for the rest of my career, and whether it happens or not, we'll see. But it's, like I said, a great chance to win every year, a team that's always going to be going for it, and a great group of guys that, like I said, care for one another, and that's all you want to be a part of.
Good.